Late one night 2 girls got into a taxi. The next day both had vanished without a trace. I'd prepared my granddaughter's favorite meal, but Jessica just didn't show up. That wasn't like her at all, and her phone went straight to voicemail. I called my son right away, but he brushed it off, because his restaurant was doing great. However, Jessica's sister was shocked to discover that her sister never came home that night. Soon, the cops put out missing person flyers, and even organized search parties with the whole town. The sheriff was taking this seriously. Our quiet little town had never seen anything like this before. The other missing girl's dad turned out to be the local gang leader. After a week of searching, we still had nothing. Thank God the police found security footage and saw that both girls had gotten into a blue taxi. They arrested the cab driver as their main suspect. However, the driver claimed he just dropped them off at some intersection and drove away. Later, police found one of the girls' jackets there, with blood all over it. DNA tests confirmed it was blood from both girls. One night not long after, some fishermen pulled up a body. Soon I got the news that the other girl was dead. At the funeral, the gang boss didn't shed a single tear, but I could tell he was planning something. 2 years later, a judge officially called off the search. I learned from the news that the other girl showed clear signs of assault, but my granddaughter was still missing. The next report really shook me up, because the cops had arrested another suspect, who got convicted on multiple charges. Even though he was cleared later, he died under mysterious circumstances just days after getting out. Meanwhile, they released the taxi driver too, without charges, due to insufficient evidence. I decided to investigate on my own, but my son had already moved on from this. After all, life had to go on. But I knew in my heart that my granddaughter wasn't dead, so I went back to the sheriff to push harder. Unfortunately, the police force was stretched thin. I even tried getting information from the gang boss. Despite their brutal methods, they came up empty-handed too. I started investigating the case myself, and soon enough I caught a break. That day I finally tracked down where the taxi driver worked, so I found him unexpectedly. The young guy actually recognized me. The driver didn't want to talk about that night, because the gang boss had taught him a lesson. After he got out, the townspeople treated him like dirt, causing him to lose his job, and nobody would hire him anywhere. About that night's events, he admitted he remembered Jessica, because he couldn't forget her beautiful smile. Jessica said she was meeting a friend, then put on the earrings I'd given her. They got out at the intersection, where both girls were laughing and talking. Missing my granddaughter, I put on those same green earrings. But the next day, some students said those earrings reminded him of Jessica, the earrings my granddaughter had worn the night she disappeared. But how the hell did the student know about that? I kept my cool, but my mind was racing. This meant my granddaughter must have met this person. After getting out of that cab, I was about to call the cops, but then I realized the authorities would probably just make the evidence disappear. If this guy in front of me was the killer, he'd walk free again, due to insufficient evidence. Now I had to solve this case myself. For my granddaughter, I pulled out a bottle of pills, ground them into powder in a jar, and handed him a cup of coffee. I watched him drink every drop. Now it was just a matter of time when the student pressed that last piano key and couldn't lift his fingers anymore. The first part of my investigation was finally complete.